Hello, welcome to a new exciting Let's Play of Star Trek Online. I'm your host, the Crimson Phoenix, and today we got a bunch of updates, but we're gonna go through those along with our next mission, Divide and Impera. Now, for Divide and Impera, we're gonna have to go over to Starbase 39 Sierra, which will start while we're going through there. I will go ahead and do a delayed introduction of Delta Rising. Delta Rising is a new expansion which brings out the Delta Quadrant as well as a new level cap, which is increased to level 60. We get to explore the Delta Quadrant. I'm doing this I'm summarizing this because I'll be honest, if I try to explain everything like it is here, I would probably go into a 30-minute video without having to do the mission. And personally, I want to go ahead and get the mission done. I haven't done a Let's Play in a couple of months here. I've been dealing with school and everything, work, and now I've gotten to the point where I can do something. And of course, it's a holiday, so now we're loading in. There's several new things that came out in here. Okay, so one is, of course, the Tier 6 vessels. Tier 6 vessels bring out the intel vessels for all three factions, as well as a couple other, along with some ships that are non-faction wise. Correction, I'm sorry. There are some ships that, actually some non-faction wise because of the new lockbox, the Delta Quadrant, the Delta expansion lockbox. But there are also other ships that are Tier 6. Like recently, they came out while going to the Admiral's office. They came out with with several new Tier 6 vessels, including the Dauntless class seen in Star Trek Voyager. For Federation's got some Intel ships. There's the Intel Eclipse Cruiser, the Faith, and for Romulans, a Guardian class cruiser, which to me looks almost similar like a Galaxies, but these are of course Tier 6s. Also, the new type of vessels called the Pathfinder Long Range Science Vessel. Now, this is a upgraded version of the Intrepid, so people who want a Tier 6 Intrepid, there you go. The cool thing about these Tier 6 vessels is they do introduce a new style of bridge officers within Star Trek Online. It's called the Intel officers. Intel specialist officers are basically a mix between intelligence and as well as the three core classes. Here's Admiral Zilli that we do have to talk with. For subfusion, tell me about yourself. Of course, never trust a Romulan. I mean, tell Shiara and everything. So yeah, this mission, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will say there is a bit to the ending, which we'll get to that once we get to the ending, that some of y'all may find a little bit interesting. Now, as I said, these Intel officers, when you get to Tier 5, when you get to level 50, you can go with a new type of leveling up. Instead of actually leveling up through the skills, if you see here, you get the specialization, which if we hover over that, after at Vice Admiral 50, you can choose specialization skills and earn each specialization skill you may spend to improve your character's combat performance. There are three in there. There's Intelligence Officer, Commando, and Pilot. I recommend Pilot a little bit, mainly because there is some cool things with pilots. Especially with the new Starship traits, because there is, the little Starship traits here. And I just realized I got to redo all the traits with this guy. So we're gonna do that. and we will go in from there. So we got all that. What else am I missing? Specialization tier 6. Oh yeah. A few other things, and I'll get to that while we're going to the vendor system. For those of you who have gotten a tier 5 vessel, you can upgrade that to what's called a tier 5U, or basically a tier 5 upgrade. With tier 5 upgraded ships as well as the tier 6 vessels, there are different ship masteries. Now you can only get these at a tier 5 or tier 6 vessel that is eligible for an upgrade for the tier 5. Tier 6 automatically allow you to do the masteries. Now these masteries can do anything, different sorts of level up upgrades depending on what kind of ship you're using. If you're using a cruiser, there's probably going to be something there. It's going to be stuff to do with your hull integrity, your damage resistance. Escorts, of course, upgrade in damage and accuracy. Science, stuff for buffs and etc. And there's different stuff. Tier 6 vessels have 5 masteries to go through, while tier 5 upgrades only have 4. Reason why is because on the 5th mastery for the tier 5 vessel, that unlocks a starship trait, which you can use with any of your starships once when you put them in the starship traits right here. So we got all that. A bunch of stuff in this new upgrade, including new stories, new missions and everything. The intel bridge officers. Of course, there's also a couple of new cute events. One of them I haven't gotten there quite yet, but will later. There's Borg Disconnected. There's Bug Hunt, and the Battle of Corfez. Now, not gonna spoil too much here, and of course, new difficulty levels. Because let's be honest, they upgraded the difficulties, added a new adventure zone, added the Delta Alliance reputation, and has allowed an upgrade system. So if you bring out your weapon, like let me bring this out, you can right click on upgrade. And you can put in the tech upgrade in here, and accelerate in here to help accelerate more. That's how many technology points is required to upgrade this thing. It's pretty nice. You can now upgrade your items all the way up to level to Mark 14. Now, once you get to higher levels like Vice Admiral or Admiral 55 or so, then you start getting, some Mark 12 stuff out of the missions and everything. But we're gonna get to that here probably soon. In the meantime, let's go ahead and do this mission. I've already spent about 8 minutes talking. Like I said, I'm just doing all that as a summary. Mainly because, I don't want to take too much time. So if I take the time and trying to go through everything and explain it, like I said, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time here. I'd have to actually do a separate video, and I really don't want to do that. I want to just do this, get this done. And I will say, pretty much anything on it can be upgraded except for fighters. And kits. Actually, can you upgrade kits? No, you can't. Okay, kits you can't upgrade. If you have a carrier sort of vessel, unfortunately you're not able to upgrade any of the fighters. If you want something beyond a rare or common fighter, you have to actually, buy it either at the Dilithium store, or if you're lucky enough to be in a fleet that has the elite fighters, you can get them at your nearest fleet base and whatnot. I'm more likely, I imagine there's probably quite a few of y'all who's probably already done all this. Delta Rising has been out since October. Yeah, I am posting this video here in November. Again, as I said, been really busy. And that crap. And my 5 key has been sticking. I will say, I have gotten a few items from, that I have experimented with from the R&D. A couple of them I had to buy, like, for example, while I'm flying away here, the TR-116 Bravo. That thing is is a really good ground weapon. You can craft it, although I have seen people that have been that has previously pretty much just put them on the exchange, which luckily everything you make here you can just put out on the exchange. Now this thing, the arc beam, it's a 360 degree angle beam. And you can make it into any energy type. Anti-proton. You can make it disruptor, phaser. Now I got one on my main character as an omnidirectional phaser array. I have to say, I'd recommend it. You can only get one, but you know, I still recommend it. It's actually a pretty good, a pretty good phaser array. You know, for cruiser, and actually anything that you have beams for, whether it's a battle cruiser, even an escort, a science vessel, or even a warbird for anybody that's Romulan, the omnidirectionals, I definitely would recommend picking one up if you can. And if you have someone that can craft it for you, definitely ask, you know, negotiate what can be done to have them have them craft it for you. Now, unfortunately, I can't really get one at this lower level because the TR-116 and the omnidirectional weapons, they are all they are all exclusively for the Vice Admiral characters and everything. I mean, they're still good to get. It's just a pain in the ass. Try and get them all and whatnot. And that's why I have hazard emitters, because I hate the that plasma. Okay. So we got through that while I was talking. We got through the defense fleet for the station. Now it's time to beam down. I still haven't gotten everybody all ranked up yet. So only Alyssa's commander level. Everybody else is still at lieutenant commander. And yeah, we got the admiral with us. Now, also along with this, recently, which I definitely love, people have been complaining about since Earth Space Dog had been rebuilt. There's been plenty of complaints about there not being a Club 47, because before certain events, there was a club in ESD, and that kind of got destroyed during an attack. Now, luckily, they have rebuilt it, and you know, along with rebuilding it, they've added in new costume features called the club wear. Now, unfortunately, for the club wear items, you can only, I forgot what that one of them had that gun. For the club wear items, you can only wear them inside Earth Space Dock. I believe Earth Space Dock, or at least in the club area. You can also wear it in the only other social area you can really wear the club items at is pretty much at Ryza. If you go to the summer event area, you can wear the club wear items there, along with the swimwear if you've got any of that through the summer events. So yeah, quite a few upgrades here and there that's come to Star Trek Online. All of them, in my opinion, are pretty good. I'm just gonna let those guys attack them and throw that grenade there. Die, you Centurion. There we go. Okay, scan this crate. Okay, everything seems to be medical supplies in the tricorders, but she's saying there's something more. Well, let's just check the records. Off to the command center. Oh, an Olan, a dead Olan, as well as a sub-lieutenant and a Centurion. And another random accolade, punching bags. Gotta love the random accolades. As you can see, with this, I'm actually surprised we're close to leveling up. I think we're probably, if we just kill everything here in the maps, we'll probably level up. So let's kill everyone, including those Remans there. First, let's get these Romulans way over here. Random floating rocks. Now, something else I almost forgot. With the addition to everything else that's been upgraded within Star Trek Online, they've also added a new playable race that everybody can be, and I have seen people make quite a few characters of this species, and that is Talaxians. Since we're not able to go into the Delta Quadrant, and it's come to the attention that some Talaxians have decided to join Starfleet. Which, hey, I mean, I imagine by now, seeing that we're all able to go to the Delta Quadrant and whatnot, that it would just make sense for Talaxians to be here. I know I'm just spoiling a little bit, but then again, for those of you that are working up that way, you're gonna find out about all this anyway. Let's see what that item is. Huh. Nice little combat kit there. See what's in here.
Congratulations, Captain.
Yep, there we go. Figured that was gonna happen. 31. Don't worry, y'all. We are almost there at the end. See? Quite literally almost at the end here. I pretty much know, everything's going on, and I'll be honest, it is real, it's like late at night here with me. So I do apologize for those if I kind of just skip a little bit on the dialogues here. But I plan to, once after this, to put myself in food coma. I say that because all the damn turkey I had. So let's face it, after Thanksgiving, after having a nice big Thanksgiving meal, you can't help but get put in food coma. So let's say, because I mean, the only other time you can really get put into food coma, in my opinion, is once after you finish eating something like, I don't know, an Asian cuisine or something. Like, go to a Japanese or Vietnamese or even a Chinese restaurant, pig out, and then once you are done, you're gonna be in food coma. And that's pretty much almost the same thing for something as for something as simple as turkey. Oh, there's Commander. Now that's a medical research, and yet we are attacking them. Time to talk with his relay. Suppose one. Yep. I think I've said this earlier that some people were not gonna like the ending very much here. This is why. Because yeah, everybody that we've killed here were all medical personnel. Gotta love Undine Infiltrator sometimes. And tail, the response. Time to defend ourselves. And just for the fun of it, I know I probably don't need the Nimbus the forces here, but it's like, just for the fun of it. So we're at the end here. And that pretty much was the mission. Now, I'm gonna be honest with this mission. Most of y'all probably not gonna like it. The only reason because of that is, you know, this little event of killing, you know, killing all those medical personnel. And yeah, you're gonna regret that for a while. Well, that was divided Impera. Yeah, I do apologize for, you know, this being not much of a mission, much of a video, but don't worry, everything's gonna, I'll try to get, you know, the videos going, you know, as much as I can, because I'm gonna be signing up for next semester sometime, and yeah, it's gonna, and you know, of course, work and everything's just all the hell. But in the next episode, we're gonna go through Saturday's Child, the next mission. And these are pretty much our rewards here, you know, the different sort of armors and everything. I'll tell you right now, we are doing really good on when it comes to experience wise, because I mean, honestly, next mission is going to get us to 32. And yeah, we got a long ways away, because now, instead of being halfway to a max level as we were several parts ago, we just passed the halfway mark, the new halfway mark. Alright, well, that is it for today. I am your host, the Crimson Phoenix. I bid y'all a good night, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and a happy holidays.